I'm in Shenandoah National Park on the west side of Thornton Gap. That's US 211 right there, heading down the west side of the mountain towards Luray. I'm parked on it's a little bit of a dodgy place to park, but I'm parked here at the beginning of an old fire road that goes into the Shenandoah Park right up that way. I pulled over so somebody can get around me if they have to. There's the Gray Ghost. I'm going to close up the Gray Ghost and I'm going to hike down the mountain a short distance and then I'm going to head off to the left looking for an old homestead and also the location of an old water-powered mill. The elevation here is 1,440 feet. .3 miles into my hike, I'm down to 1,340 feet, and I'm in the approximate location over here of where one of the old homesteads was, the Beahm, B-E-A-H-M homestead. I'm going to head down this way. Pass runs down here also, so I'm going to wander into the wilderness here and see if I see anything left of the homestead. Probably not. And then when we get down here to Pass Run, I'm going to follow it downstream a ways until I get to the location where I think the old mill used to be. .5 miles into my hike, I'm down to 1,260 feet. And I'm down to Pass Run. Over this way is my waypoint JH4, Jewel Hollow 4. There was something marked on the old maps as being in this area right here. You can see it's kind of cleared out. I don't see anything though. There's Pass Run coming down. It's been a day or two since it rained, but it rained a lot a couple days ago, so the mountains are still draining down. I'm going to follow this downstream a ways, see it on this side, and see if I see any evidence of any other old buildings or even a head race maybe for the mill. We'll see what we can find, if anything. .6 miles into my hike. The elevation here is 1,240 feet. I think I might have found where the head race was. This is within about 40 or 50 feet of what I saw from Google Earth. You see all these, there's a whole lot of rocks piled up here, and if you imagine those rocks going across Pass Run right there and damming it up some would raise the level up here a little ways, and then it could flow right down that way into a ditch. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to go a little further. It's starting to snow though, so I might have to cut this hike short, but I repositioned my Jewel Hollow 6 Head Race 1 point right here. I think this is the intake. I mean, it even kind of looks like it right there. See how the stream's there and then it goes over this way? So I think this was the intake. Yeah, this is definitely part of the head race. There's Pass Run. This is the entrance to it. And look at, it's all armored up here, heading in that direction. So we'll just keep following it. So I moved over away from Pass Run a little bit because I saw the beginnings of this rock wall here. I'll get some shots of that. Skyline Drive is right, or US 211 is right up there. I might, that's really steep, but if I can find a way up there, I might go back that way instead of through the jungle here. But anyway, Pass Run is over there. And there's kind of like an old dirt road or something between me and that. And then right here, this looks like it was probably part of the part of the head race coming down through here, heading down this way. So I'm going to hop up here and get a few shots of this wall and follow this downstream for a ways. All right, well, here's some of the wall. It looks like it might be the reinforcing the low side of a road. In other words, up there, this part right up here, looks like it might have been an old road, or maybe where some buildings were. I'm gonna hop up here for a minute and take a look. Seven-tenths of a mile into my hike. I'm approximately at my waypoint JH2, Jewel Hollow 2, and I'm going to mark this wall here. This is the end of it. So the wall, I'm not sure exactly where it started, but I marked it somewhere near the beginning, and then this is the end of it here. And then the old maps show up there where 211 is, there was an old road that came down this way. So if I try and go back by 211 up there, I may wander up there and see if I can find that road and then just hike back on 211. Now the interesting thing about this is I'll get some shots from down here. Over there, it looks like this is where the head race drained back into Pass Run. And this whole area down here, I'll get a better shot down there, but this is, I'm standing up on a rock reinforced zone, and down there looks dug out to me. So there could have been some sort of a mill thing right here, and that would be in the right location per the maps. So here's a shot standing down next to Pass Run. Up there's that wall, and it ends right over there. And then below that, down here is this dugout area. That looks like the head race coming down through here, and it empties out right here. And then this area here is dug out. So I suspect something was here right next to this head race. And there's the reinforcing to keep the mountain from sliding down into whatever you built. So it was reinforced right there and then up there. So this is my spot JH2. .9 miles into my hike, I'm down to 1,295 feet. And I just crawled out of the wilderness. Pass Run is down there. Down there's where the head race rejoins Pass Run, down there at my waypoint JH2, Jewel Hollow 2. As you can see, I'm right at the edge of the park. And I'm going to head back up this way to where my car's parked, because this is going to be easier than trying to retrace my steps through the wilderness. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Thornton Gap, 1994, and the purpose of the hike was to explore the area along Pass Run where the Shenk's mill complex used to be. In that same area, there's a tract number 158, which was a homestead of John Beahm. So I checked that out while I was in the area. Up here is the top of the mountain. This is Thornton Gap. Here's the entrance to Shenandoah Park. This is Skyline Drive. Here's US 211 coming down the west side of the mountain. Now there is a chained off fire road here. I don't even know what the name of it is, but this is down here's Route 658. So you might think of this as 658 extended through the park. But it's chained off here, but there's a little area here where I parked my car. Got out on 211 and hiked down the mountain to here. Then I made a sharp turn, came down this road a short distance. This road here is called Jewel Hollow Access Road. This is Jewel Hollow down through here. And here's Pass Run. And down here near the bottom of the mountain is where the mill complex was. I'll show you this area from an older map here in a second. But what I did was I got out here, came down 211, hiked down this road a short distance, and then I started bushwhacking, looking for these various waypoints along the way. Now, 4 was the Beahm homestead, Tract 158. I looked around here, didn't find much of anything. Then I came down to Pass Run and checked this whole area out here. Then there was an old road that came from like point 1 up to 211. And then I hiked back to my car like this. Now let me show you an older map. This is Stony Man 1933. This is the same area along Pass Run. Here's the Jewel Hollow Access Road, US 211. Here's where I parked my car. And these are, now I didn't put these squares in there. This is from the map. There's the Beahm homestead. And then 1, 2, 3 buildings shown here along Pass Run. This is where the mill complex was. And then there's a little dotted line here showing an access road coming back up to point 5 here. So I got the coordinates from this map and put them onto a modern day map for my hike. I didn't find anything really here at the homestead location. When I got down here in this area, I found some stone walls, and I found the intake for the head race. There's a whole bunch of boulders piled up. It looks to me like it used to be dammed up across there for the intake. And then down here near point number 2 is where I think the actual water wheel was for the mill. So in other words, the water was taken in here around point 3, and then there would have been a ditch cut at constant elevation down to point 2, and then it would drop. There was about if you do that, there's about a 20-foot drop here, which would be enough for a mill. Now, let me just show you one more real quick here. This is like an extreme blow up. This is where the intake was, and this is where it returns back to pass run, where the water wheel would have been down here in this area. Now these are 40-foot contour lines. Each line is 40 vertical feet. So that means from here to there is 40 feet vertical drop. Now this distance here, that's about half of that, so that makes sense. It's about a 20-foot drop. And these are the contour lines. If you follow these contour lines, you're running along at constant elevation. So you could take the water out here and then follow this contour line down to here, and then you've got yourself about a 20-foot drop to drop down over the water wheel right there. Ended up being 1.3 miles. It was kind of tough going though, because it started snowing, and also it's real thorny and a lot of underbrush and thorny stuff down there. It's pretty nasty. And an hour and 38 minutes and a total ascent of 243 feet. And that was the hike for today.